that the PRC doesn't like Bitcoin. The People's Republic of China doesn't like Bitcoin. Well, we should be asking ourselves, why is that? Why is our biggest adversary such an opponent of Bitcoin? And if the Communist Republic of China is leaning away from Bitcoin, then maybe the United States ought to be leaning into Bitcoin.
JD Vance spoke at the Bitcoin conference a couple of days ago, and yeah, this administration is leaning in.
The consistent fear that I hear is that there's still this perception that digital assets are not welcome in the mainstream economy, and let me promise you that our effort to change the policy is purely about changing that. We want our fellow Americans to know that crypto and digital assets, and particularly Bitcoin, are part of the mainstream economy and are here to stay. We know that the PRC doesn't like Bitcoin. The People's Republic of China doesn't like Bitcoin. Well, we should be asking ourselves, why is that? Why is our biggest adversary such an opponent of Bitcoin? And if the Communist Republic of China is leaning away from Bitcoin, then maybe the United States ought to be leaning into Bitcoin, and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, that really shows you the divide right there. Why is it that the Chinese Communist Party, which wants control, which wants social credit scores, which wants people in these 15-minute cities, which wants, depending on your behavior and who you associate with and what you say online, to decide whether you can purchase things or not? I mean, this is literally happening in China right now. Hyper control versus Bitcoin, which is decentralized, right? If you were a big fan of the Rubin Report and you wanted to send some Bitcoin my way and you didn't want the government to do anything with it, I'm not even taking Bitcoin right now, but if that was what you wanted to do, that would just be fine, right? Or if I wanted to tip Connor over here, he's doing a fine job with a makeshift studio sitting here. Connor, wave for a second. Look, he's right there. He's normally a little bit further that way. If I wanted to tip him a little bit, what does that have to do with the government? So that really does set up, I would say, actually, it's connected to the backdrop of what we're talking about here in CPAC, or at least what seems to be a major theme, which is that you can either have a top-down way of looking at the world, that there's this set of people, and they're usually communists and Marxists and globalists, that can have an awful lot of control, and you can get some crumbs going down this way, or you can have an individual first, bottom up. I mean, you guys know this way of looking at the world, and you will be able to do business and have relationships as you see fit. And clearly America is on that side of it right now. Hungary is on that side of it right now. There are several other countries but we're in a big fight, largely with China, over this.